All right, hello and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Pisto Plays Magic the Gathering Arena Brawl. We do deck techs, we do gameplay, we build the decks, or I build the decks, so you can get something to run with. If you're interested in Vega the Watcher, I think this is a great starting point, if not a great deck. There are lots of different ways you can build it, and this is one way that I think you could start building it. We want adventures, we want FORETELL. The deck has 3 adventure spells and 9 FORETELL spells, so that's a total of 12 spells that Vega the Watcher can trigger off of. Otherwise, it's a 2/2 flyer that gets in for damage. The deck is also built around the flying mechanic. So our first adventure spell is Giant Killer. It has Chop Down as its adventure. It destroys target creature with power 4 or greater for a white and 2 colorless mana. And then it's a 1 mana 1/2 that taps a creature, so you can get a creature out of the way in the air or something with reach so that you can get in there with your flyers. We have Glass Casket, a nice cheap interactive removal spell for the 3 converted mana cost or less creatures, get them out of the way. Depart the Realm, one of our first FORETELL card, so you play 2 colorless to FORETELL the card, and then you pay 1 blue to cast it for its FORETELL cost. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you don't do it with the FORETELL, it just costs a blue and a colorless mana. Mystic Reflection, exactly the same costs, 2 colorless to FORETELL, 1 blue to FORETELL it, 1 blue and a colorless to cast it without FORETELL. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time 1 or more creatures or planeswalkers enters the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of those chosen creatures. I've had Vorinclexes come in as 1/1 flyers from Alrund's Epiphany. Very fun card, very interactive card, very cheesy card, and I like it. Omen of the Seas is a flash enchantment for 2, a blue and a colorless. When it enters, you scry 2, and then you draw a card. You can pay a blue and 2 colorless after it's in the battlefield to scry another 2. So it does more than just draw you cards. Thieving Skydiver, 2 mana 2/1 with kicker. It has flying, and the X can't be 0. You kick and steal a converted mana artifact with converted mana cost X or less, and if it's an equipment, you attach it right to Thieving Skydiver. Hypnotic Sprite goes on an adventure, a blue and 2 colorless to counter target spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. There are lots of good spells with converted mana cost 3 or less for this to counter. Otherwise, it's a 2 mana, 2 blue, 2/1 flyer. Skycat Sovereign, we have 15 plus flyers in the deck. This makes flyers by itself, and Starnheim Unleashed can make minimum of 1 flyer, and sky's the limit for that one as well. It's a 2 mana 1/1, but it gets +1/+1 for each other creature flying you control. You can pay 4 mana to create a 1/1 white creature, white cat bird creature token with flying. Very interesting card. Haven't really found a spot for it. I think this is it. We have Watch of the Spheres is a 2 mana 2/1, with also flying. Kind of gives us a little bit of ramp when Vega is starting to cost more because of the commander tax. Creatures with flying you control or flying you cast cost 1 generic less to cast, and whenever another creature with flying enters the battlefield, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. We have Arcane Signet, pretty typical in most, if not all, Brawl decks. Adds blue or white in this case. Heliod's Intervention, I think it's the best artifact and enchantment removal spell in the format. White X, destroy X target artifacts and or enchantments, or if you're in a pinch, you can gain twice X life. Vanishing Light gets rid of any non-land permanent that you need to deal with. One of the ways we deal with planeswalkers. Iron Verdict, another FORETELL spell. This one only costs 1 white to cast after it's been foretold. It deals 5 damage to target tapped creature. You have to attack to win the game unless you mill them out. So being able to deal with something that's a decent size is pretty cool. Redain, God of the Worthy, and Valkmir, Protector's Shield. This is an interesting card. I haven't really found a home for it yet, but I think it fits in a Flyers deck very well. The 3 mana 2/3 flyer Vigilance, and it slows your opponents down if they're playing Snowlands to make them enter the play tapped, and it makes non-creature spells that opponents cast that are 4 or greater cost 2 more. So it makes anything, obviously, 4 converted mana costs are greater, 2 more to cast. So it makes 4 mana 6, 5 mana 7, and so on and so forth. And then the Valkyrie Shield's Protector, if you're running up against aggro and you don't need a 2/3 flying vigilance protector, you can use the shield to prevent 1 damage from you or a permanent you control. And if whenever you or another permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, counter that spell unless its controller pays 1. I almost think that the Protector's Shield is better than Verdane, but yeah, you got 2 different options for the card, which is nice. Then we have Whirlwind Denial. It's a 3 mana instant counter target ability or spell. For each spell and ability your opponent's controls, counter it unless its controller pays 4. Usually you're not countering more than either an ability or a spell, but it's nice that that can be a thing. Another adventure card, Brazen Borrower. It has Petty Theft. Return target online permanent to its control to its owner's hand for a blue and a colorless. It's a 3/1 flash flyer. It fits very well with our flying theme. Neutralize. You can counter a spell for 2 blue and a colorless, or you can cycle it if you're missing land drops for 2 mana. Saw it coming. Another FORETELL card. This time it costs 1 and a blue to counter target spell if it's foretold, or a blue and a colorless to counter target spell. Then Vala Shield of Seagate is a 3 mana 3/3 flyer. Its first part of text isn't relevant in the deck. We're not partying up here. We are using this for the hexproof and the indestructible ability that it grants after you sacrifice it. Just kind of nice. Nico Defies Destiny. We have, like I said with Vega, we have 9 FORETELL cards. So if you have them all out, you could gain 18 life. Odds of that aren't happening, but usually 2, 3, or 2, 4, 6 is a pretty common number. And then the step 2 is you can you get a blue and a white, and you can use that to FORETELL a card or cast something that is in the FORETELL zone. So it makes your FORETELL cards cheaper, and that's nice. And its last out of text is probably the most relevant. Return target card with FORETELL from your graveyard to your hand. That's really nice to get back a Starnheim Unleashed, or if you're behind, a Depart the Realm to bounce their big thing, and so on. We are playing Replicating Ring. Because we have Graven Lore, we need snow mana, and this helps us generate snow mana. And then you get a night counter. I'm not sure why it's a night counter. But you put 8 night counters, 1 per upkeep, your own upkeep, and then you remove 8, and you get 8 replicated ring tokens that tap to add 1 mana of any color. We're also playing Skyclave Relic. The indestructibility is super relevant. It's 3 mana for the artifact, or you can kick it for 3 more to get 2 extra of them. So for 6 mana, you can get 2, or you can get 3 Skyclave Relics, 2 of them into play tapped and our tokens. Nico Eris is a 3 and X legendary planeswalker for 3 with 3 loyalty. It comes into play with X shard tokens, and a shard token is pay 2, sacrifice this enchantment, scry 1, then draw a card. Usually you're casting this and leaving 2 open so you can at least draw 1 thing with it before after you cast it. And it's a removal magnet. It's +1 up to 1 target creature you control can't be blocked this turn, so you can get in that extra damage that you need to win the game. Whenever that creature deals damage this turn, return it to its owner's hand. So you get to replay ETBs, which is nice. It's -1. First -1, Nico Eris deals 2 damage to target tapped creature for each card you've drawn this turn. So that's why you sometimes want to leave up the 2 mana so you can play it, get whatever artifacts or shards you can, sacrifice the shard, and then you get to deal 2 extra damage. And its other -1 is create a shard token. If you like the card so far, like, subscribe, notify. I love making this content, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can use it to build your own decks around Vega the Watcher. All right, Shatter the Sky, 4 mana, destroy each creature, and if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you draw a card. Same for your opponent. Starnheim Unleashed. It has FORETELL of White XX. If you pay for 4 mana, you get a 4/4 White Angel Warrior creature token with flying. Sometimes that's good, but more often than not, you want to pay its FORETELL cost and get X or 4 flying creatures instead. Behold the Multiverse, another FORETELL card. On its surface, 4 mana, scry 2, draw 2. You can pay it in 2 components. You can pay its FORETELL cost and then you instant speed cast it for 2 mana, which is also nice as well with Vega. Cosmos Charger, 4 mana, 3/3 flash flyer. FORETELL spells or foretelling cards from your hand cost 1 less, can be done on any player's turn, which is nice because you can usually not foretell cards on your opponent's turn. And its FORETELL cost is a blue and 2 colorless, so at 3 mana 3/3 at instant speed is kind of nice. Solemn Simulacrum, 4 mana 2/2, enters, look for a basic land, put it in play tapped. When it dies, you draw a card. Doomscar, destroy all creatures, another Wrath. Because we're wanting to generate value and have things that can do that, we want to be able to keep the board clear. There's 5 mana, destroy all creatures, or you can pay it over 2 turns and then pay a white colorless to destroy all creatures. Elspeth Conquers Death, great removal spell. So the first step is you exile a card with converted mana cost 3 or greater from your opponent. Second step is non-creature spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more to cast, so it slows them down on the non-creature side. And then if you have any creature or planeswalker in your graveyard, return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield and put a 1/1 counter on it if it's a creature, and put a loyalty counter on it if it is a planeswalker. Graven Lore, scry X, where X is the amount of snow mana, and draw 3 for 5. That's why we're running 6 snow plains, 7 snow islands, the glacier floodplain, the faithless haven, the shimmerdrift veil, and the replicating ring for the snow payoff here. Thrix the sudden storm, I put him in the deck because we have 8 cards that cost 5 or more, and it reduces their cost by 1. He is also a 4/5 flash flyer. Fits the theme very well. Harmonious Archon, I've never actually played with this card. I think it's quite cool, quite fun. It gives all your non-Archon creatures have base power and toughness of a 3/3, and it creates 2 1/1 white human creature tokens that are 3/3s until he leaves the battlefield or it leaves the battlefield. Otherwise, it's a 4/5 flyer. Valkyrie Harbinger, 6 mana 4/5. This is one of those cards that you either get from the mastery thing if you bought the mastery pass, or you have to craft them using your own thing, your own wild cards. The 6 mana 4/5 flying lifelink, and at the beginning of each end step, if you gain 4 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Very powerful, very good late game. You can start building a board and win the game that way. Shark Typhoon, we got a metric boatload of instants and sorceries and non-creature spells. So every time, if this is on the battlefield, you get an X blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. Otherwise, you can pay blue and X to cycle it, so you draw a card and then you create an X blue shark creature token with flying from it. Dream Trawler, you're playing Azorius, you're playing this card, 6 mana 3/5 flyer lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. When it attacks, you draw a card. You can discard a card to give it hexproof and tap it. So it's really hard to remove, and other than board wipes. So yeah, great top end for the deck. And we're playing Alrund's Epiphany, 7 mana to take an extra turn and get 2 1/1s, or you can pay FORETELL and then pay 6 mana late game to do the same thing. That's the deck. We got, like I said, 6, 7. We have the Gates of Istfell, which is a modal land that you pay blue, white, 2 colorless, sacrifice it to gain 2 life, draw 2 cards. Place your floodplains, the henge, the pathway, the temple, the cove, tranquil cove, the tap gain life land, command tower, fabled passage, faceless haven, and shimmerdrift veil. No extra special lands in the deck. That is Vega the Watcher. All right, let's get into some games. Dragon Bruh 420. This is definitely keepable. Korvald, Fae-Cursed King. We have removal for it. We got the goose. They always have the goose. We'll FORETELL a card. probably get Vega out next turn. Well, that helps a little bit. Would not be surprised if there was a piece of removal. But we gotta go for it. It is our commander, after all. You can always turn their thing into a goose. That is an option. Ooh, FORETELL. There's another good FORETELL card, but I think we just do this. This. Next attack. Get in some damage while we can. Now, is that the new mammoth? I am going to make it come in as a goose. Yeah, that's a hard one to deal with. I have this, but I would rather use it for that. We play this. Put that there. Yeah, because next time we're typhooning. Then maybe it is good to keep a land. We have 6. We're okay. Get in. That. And end the turn. We're probably gonna go Shark Typhoon into Epiphany. Right? We may have to... Can we take a hit from this thing? Don't really want to. If that's the case, we giant killer it? That seems okay to me. Play our tap land, play our giant killer, draw card. Back with this. I do want to get this out before we cast this. It'd be nice to get the Typhoon down and then Epiphany. Alright. That I'm not too worried about. Extra card draw on their part is nice. Oh, they get 2 hits at it. Oh, that's a nice hit for them. Very nice hit for them. Hit 1. Alright, we get the pathway on blue. 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. We can Typhoon. Well, let's attack first. All right. Typhoon. Now, fingers crossed they don't have artifact or enchantment removal. What is that FORETELL card? I guess there are lots of different options in those colors. Sure. Alright. Lotus Cobra. I got another good rip with only 2 lands available. Jeez. This is a neat little combo wombo. Sure. All right. Have fun. Guess I can play the Tangle Florahedron now. Black. Poison the cup. Oh, they might have the lack enchantment removal. Last destroy target creature spell. Otherwise, why would they be shoving? Yeah. Right. This giant killer is gonna have to do some work. Ow. Let's draw cards. That's interesting. I don't know if we want to do that now. What we do want to do is take an extra turn. Now attack with that. Get in for 2. That's nice. Too bad it's not a land. We need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That leaves us with 1. We want to hold up these. Alright. We will attack with all but this. Your play. This is a nice little combo too. You got lots of mana. And we always have the eject button if stuff gets too wild. But I thought it was poison the cup. It resolves. We have this at instant speed, which is 5 damage. There is no... Huh? Okay. I just want to trigger this. That I probably will count. Not worried about the brush strider. You're getting lots of value out of this. Nothing that scares me. Sure. The life gain from that's going to be a problem. Why that? I guess it's one less damage. Sure. They are officially in top deck mode. Don't think they'll see this Cosmos Charger coming. Good for them. I'll just take it. We'll cast this. All right. I think I'm gonna Banishing Light this thing first. Attack for 4. Now we could ride or die and play the Valkyrie Harbinger. I think we do this first. See what we get our hands on. We don't really want either of these. This is a blocker. Should we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, we want to be able to play this and this. Counter. Let it go to their graveyard. I don't know if that was a mistake. Or it wasn't a mistake. They just decided to stop. Alright, cool. We controlled them enough and we got to draw cards with FORETELL and an adventure. Alright, let's get into another game. Alright, Foamy Mitten. This looks like it's a keepable hand. We got 2 lands, we got ramp, got some interaction. Need to draw some more lands though. That was one of the best lands we could have drawn. The Sorry Ket. Fun Planeswalker. Life gain, life gain, life gain.
I will face this trial with courage. I will guard your advance.
That's gonna be good for us later, I think. We definitely wait. Vega. Right.
Oketra's love is your shield.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Last casket. That's a nice one. We can do this. Casket. The creator. Or orator. I don't think that does what you wanted it to do. This is converted mana cost, not power and toughness. Bane Slayer. Land, please.
I trust in your abilities.
That is not the land we were looking for, but it's probably the land we deserve. We will tell, bounce. Dealing with this planeswalker is obnoxious.
I offered you peace.
Comes a Baneslayer again. More than likely. Sarah Angel.
Now is the time to strike.
What are you playing around? This exactly? Interesting. We could just totally blow them out with Doom Scar. So we're gonna do this. And do this. No attacks. There an angel is an interesting include.
I trust in your abilities.
No point in taking 2 or 5. Doom Scar. Followed up with this. Makes Vega cheaper, which is nice. Are they like angels? They are angels.
Now is the time to strike.
This. This. Here. Put this on Basri Cat. And that's it. Alright, we controlled them enough and we baited out the cards with for Doom Scar. That was pretty good. Alright, let's do another one. Alright, Salworth Jegantha. It's nice to see a 5-color commander that is not the bridge. Alright, I think we can keep this. Go find a white. we will put out this Iron Verdict. No, we won't. We will play another tap land. Now let's Vega. And we can go boom boom. Or if they play out a 2-mana artifact, we can snag it with this. That is a very annoying creature. Ooh. Why do that? Archon of Emeria. Players can't cast more than one spell each turn, and non-basic lands come into play tapped. I wish I had a land. Well, at least we can Vanishing Light the Jegantha. This and this. No, we're going to Brazen Borrower, whatever they do. We can Omen of the Seas to get us that land we need. Yeah, that is not worth omening. That's for sure. I don't want to put this on the bottom, but we have to. We're gonna put both of these on the bottom. And we draw. This is actually a lot more powerful than meets the eye. I just think doing... No, we're gonna do this. That was nice for us. I can turn all our guys in the base 3/3, get in for 3/6. Comes Jegantha, or we just tap, bounce it, play this. Lots of options next. Elixir. That's something we should. Vanishing Light. Don't really have any other ways of dealing with it. We have 4 mana. Get in. Bounce and cast Brazen Borrower. Sure, Lotus Cobra's fine. Tap land. If they make white, we're in trouble. Oh no, they already have 2. White. Elspeth. I want you to come in as a Lotus Cobra. Blocks. My turn. Ring. Well, we're going to play this. And foretell this. And attack for everything. Alright. I think we got him next turn. As long as there's no board wipe. And even if there's a board wipe, we can generate our own board. I gave them a bunch of mana. But it's much better than giving them a Narset. We have a pretty good reset button here. Shark Typhoon, yeah, sure. Bounce the Shark Typhoon. Hardy, hardy, alright, cool. We got there. Alright, let's get into a post-game wrap-up. Alright, so today we played with Vega in our standard Brawl session in deck tech. Some other ideas that you could probably go with. You could play way more of a control-y styled game, run way more counter spells, more removal. I put the Redain in here because I think it goes well in that kind of deck. Stuff like Vin Wingmare, make things annoying for your opponents. Mind you, it makes things annoying for you too. Stuff like Nahiri's Binding, Kazuma to give you more card draw, more action. Baron is another way of bouncing things. Faith Fetters, kind of the other enchantment removal that I didn't have. All the way up to Ugin and Kiora Best the Sea Gods. You could play like the Teferi Aegis Insight plus Teferi Master of Time to draw extra cards. Another good removals enchantment spell. You could run a Baneslayer Angel as a good top end. Doomscar, Shipwreck Dowser with the Sublime Epiphany little combo there. Vicious Shark is a great one to be doing things with in a more controlling style of build. It's not complete. Just kind of threw some cards together that I thought might work well in a Vega the Watcher control style deck. Obviously you would still play almost all the Foretell cards, but rather than build it around flyers, you would build it around controlling and then playing the top end Cyclone Summoner, because you're not going to be playing many small things to bounce all their stuff and they have to replay it again and so on. That is one way that you might want to go about thinking of Vega as your commander. Another way could be kind of fun, interesting. Angels. Angels fly. Angels have wings. I think Vega would be a good Azorius Skies style deck. We have the Changelings. I don't think Olvar really does fit in this, but he might. But you could run an Angels themed deck with Vega. Another creature type. I'm not sure how many there are, but at least not in standard. But maybe if we get into historic Brawl, you could play Spirits, because she is, or it is, a spirit as well. And there are definitely more in historic than there are in standard. So that might be something to look at when historic Brawl gets to us, whenever that does. And let's go back to the deck we played today. I had lots of fun. I think this is a great place to start, a great jump off point. Flyers, we didn't get to see the Valkyrie Harbinger in play, but it was in our hand. And yeah, just being able to, we saw the power of Redain in some way or another. And Watcher of the Spheres, this card powered out our Vega again, which was, I think, was really cool. And Alrun's Epiphany, I absolutely adore this card. I think it's great. All right, that is Vega the Watcher. Like, subscribe, notify. I would love to keep building more decks, and I'm going to, whether you like, subscribe or not. But do so makes me feel like I'm doing work that's valued. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. From Mr. Pisto, bye for now.